I'll get to the wide noodles later, but for now, I'm concentrating on the lamb shank and the aromatic broth, and actually, the gochujang does most of the work. So I've got a litre of cold water there, and I want a tablespoon of gochujang. I mean, a little goes a long way, so this is hot. Stir it in to help it on its way. And in goes the lamb shank. And now for the veg, no peeling required. 1 carrot and some coins of fresh ginger, plus a couple of banana shallots halved and 2 bruised cloves of garlic. Then star anise and allspice berries with their sweet, musky pepperiness. And a particular favourite, cumin seeds. As with all broths, you need to salt vigorously. Enough water to cover and heat until it comes to the boil. Then clamp on the lid and cook in a 150 centigrade oven, that's 130 with the fan on, for 2.5 hours. I take the tender meat off the bone and strain the broth over it before letting it cool. And to allow the flavours to deepen and mellow, I leave to chill in the fridge overnight. The fabulously fiery colour of this broth is an absolutely fair indication of the warmth it bestows. Now, I am a great believer in fat, but what I want from this is piercing clarity, so I'm just removing those orange shards of fat. That was strangely satisfying. And now, the lamb. I'm going to shred it just a bit. I don't want it to go stringy, but I want to be able to have it in spoon-sized pieces. And now for the broth. Ooh, look at that. It's got the slight quiver of jelly in it. I don't want to lose any of this precious liquid, so I'm going to heat it with the lid on and very, very gently. I can forget about that now because I have wide noodles to cook, and although I do want one day to make those wonderful sort of cat's cradle of biang bang noodles, right now I am very happy with pappardelle. In with the aromatic broth, I want not only the softness of the lamb, the robust tangle of the pasta, but the crunchy leafiness of cabbage. What nice chunky strips. And I just cook the cabbage in the pasta pan when the pappardelle are almost ready. Little stir. It's time. First, the cabbage and wide noodles. Lamb, ready for succulent spoonfuls. And of course, my aromatic broth. I love the quiet ceremony of assembling this. That's not quite it. I am a complete condiment queen, And what I need on this, well, on many things, is Chinese crispy chili. It makes everything sing. This is bowl food at its best. I'm ready for total immersion now. I'm making lamb kofta, which are rather like Eastern Mediterranean meatballs in sausage form. I've got some good minced lamb in the bowl, and I'm grating in an onion, partly to give flavour, of course, but also because it tenderises the meat, making these koftas so wonderfully juicy. Mix some garlic, 2 fat cloves. I want the garlic more finely grated so that it almost turns into pulp. Now, kofta actually aren't just sausage shapes. They can be burger-like patties as well. But what makes them distinctive is their emphatic flavouring. And that's a lot of garlic. Next, some earthy cumin and coriander. I want the headiness of ground allspice. It is very intense, so not too much. And a favourite of mine in the kitchen, unashamedly so, some school pepper, that's to say ready ground white pepper. And this gives the heat of chilli, but with so much more flavour. Salt, of course. But it's the generous amount of fresh herbs that give the kofta so much exuberance. A herbal hit of parsley and fresh mint. And get chopping. They don't have to be chopped too finely. In these go. Beautiful heaping handful. And I'm going to get stuck in. So I want to mix everything together well, but with a light hand. I don't want the mixture to become dense and compact. Oh, I should have thought about doing this before I got my hands into the kofta mixture, but I want a dish to put them in. Okay, and now rollin', rollin', rollin'. This is how I make them. I just pinch out a bit, a decent bit, give it a squelch in my hands briefly, and then roll to a sausage shape. Then roll again at the ends to taper them. So I've got a little zeppelin. And then when it goes in the dish, I just want to flatten it a bit because it'll make it easier to cook. Traditionally, kofta are formed into sausages around a skewer and then cooked over flames. But I so rarely used my barbecue, I just cook these in a frying pan instead. These need to sit in the fridge to firm up for a short bit. And then while they're there, I can decofta my hands and get on with my garlic sauce. I say sauce, but all that's involved is a little grating and stirring. To a bowl of Greek yogurt, I add a generous sprinkling of sea salt flakes. Then I mince in a lot of garlic. This sauce is heady stuff. Now for the zest of a lemon, followed by its juice. Finally, some beautifully pungent dried mint, and just stir to combine. I decant the sauce into its serving bowl now, but I won't get a kofta cooking till supper time.
I do is fry these Zeppelin-shaped patties in olive oil over highish heat. I give them 5 minutes or so aside. I've been soaking some sliced red onions in vinegar, which takes the sting out of them and also turns them a glorious lambent puce. These need to go into this little bowl here. Time to turn over the kofta and give them a little bit of a baste. I've already got some warm flatbreads out on the table, along with my sauce, some roughly chopped tomatoes with parsley, and some shredded iceberg. Now the kofta and I can join them.
Hello. OK, kofta, onions. This is so strong, this garlic sauce.
Never too much garlic.
I think so. Hello, can I have the lamb ribs, please? Lamb ribs are cut from the breast, and I lived on breast of lamb when I was a student. I used to braise them in one piece all the time. Now I go for the ribs, which I roast with cumin seeds and Nigella seeds, and I can tell you it's the way forward.
Thank you.
Because I want to keep the flavour of the lamb ribs to the fore, I'm not coating them in a sticky glaze, because this is really about the marriage between spice and meat. I start with Nigella seeds. I mean, if you have a spice with the same name as you, it's a bit rude not to use it. Their slight lemon-scented pepperiness is boosted by the glorious pungency of cumin. Hard for me to have lamb without cumin. The fat on the ribs means I need only a little oil, just to help the spices stick to them. To highlight the sweetness of the meat, the saltiness of some soy sauce. All I need now is some garlic, quite a bit of garlic. Just mince them in. So all I do is schmooze the ribs in this scant mixture, just so they're glossed with conker shiny liquid and freckled with spices. Because they're a fatty cut, I roast them on a tin with a wire rack, so all the excess fat drips down, but still, it's that fat which gives them all the flavour and that lip-smacking stickiness. You certainly need a lot of napkins when you eat these. I was recently told that the literal translation of Nigella seed in Arabic is seed of blessing, which seems entirely right for any sort of meal. I cook these in a low oven just till the meat is tender and the fat crisp. With these, I make my feta and avocado salad, and I drape both avocado and feta in red onions, which I am steeping in red wine vinegar. And what this does is take out the acrid burn of the onion. I can't eat raw onions any other way. And by the time I'm ready to make the salad, these strips will have turned a beautiful lambent puce.
Inspiration for this salad comes from my sister Horatia, who often serves chunks of feta sprinkled with Nigella seeds. Call it family solidarity. My version builds on this, adding avocado. The soft creaminess contrasts beautifully with the saltiness of the cheese. A scattering of pomegranate seeds provides fruity tang. And then those lucent strips of onion, all together so prettily pink and green. Finally, a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. Along with some warm flatbread, this is all the accompaniment the lamb ribs need. And I'm ready for my sister and her lot to descend.
Here we are, ribs.
Oh,
Your favourite, is she?
Oh, divine. Ella, that's for you. Lovely.
Do you like avocado?
Oh, these look fantastic.
How about some
And I'll just do mine.
favourites?
I'm going to just dig in, I'm afraid.
Oh, these are so good.
I'm smearing Nigella seeds all over my cheek, but I feel I'm entitled.
A roast leg of lamb is such a luxury and a treat, it deserves to be celebrated. My way of doing that is by anointing the meat with a fresh green paste, the chief component of which is oregano. It's very hard to describe exactly what oregano tastes like. It's certainly got a bitterness, but also such sweet warmth. I want a whole bunch of oregano here, a small bunch, but a whole bunch. And now, a time-honoured partnership, lamb and rosemary. I need less of the rosemary because it is very pungent and resiny. And you could eat lamb without garlic, but it would seem to me to be an unnecessary deprivation. Got 4 fat cloves here. And meat without salt is an abomination not to be contemplated. Let's go for 2. I need oil, regular olive oil, to help turn this into a paste and moisturise the meat. And finally, from the Department of Zing and Uplift, an orange and a lemon. Zest of both. This is where most of the flavour lies. A lemon. And I want some juice, not too much, but about 2 tablespoonfuls of each. And I'm ready to blitz. And now for the lamb. There we are. Want to make a few incisions so that the paste infuses the meat. So this is my psycho moment. It's a very runny paste. So we're just going to spoon green paste over the pink meat. Give it a little bit of a massage to help the paste go into the meat. When it roasts, the greenness recedes, and what starts off really as a marinade ends up as a fresh-tasting crust. It's a soft crust and browned in parts. But for now, I'm just going to leave the lamb here to steep a little before I put it in the oven. I pour some just boiled water into the tin to come about 1/2 centimetre up, which keeps the meat lusciously tender and gives me gravy later. This goes into an oven at 180 degrees for around 1 hour and 40 minutes. I chunk up a tray full of potatoes, I don't bother peeling them, and pour over a good few glugs of olive oil. Then in goes a heady amount of grated garlic and lots of dried oregano. Then I smoosh them about to mix. I love doing this by hand. I roast these in a 220-degree oven until they're crisp and golden. No deep frying involved, deep happiness achieved. Once the lamb with its soft herb crust is out of the oven, I leave it loosely tendered with foil and let it rest for up to 30 minutes. Everything else is ready. I'm just going to finish off my Greco-Australian potatoes. They're meltingly soft on the inside and crisp and golden on the outside now. Can never have too many potatoes. So just like the chips I had in Melbourne, these potatoes are going to be sprinkled with feta. There is just something about the cool, smooth saltiness of the feta against the hot crispness of the potatoes. Now I'm going to toss these because I want some of the bits of feta, the smaller bits particularly, to start melting slightly in the warmth. But I still want a sharp, cool crumble on top. And I know I've already got the dried oregano in these, but I cannot resist a final, fragrant flourish of fresh oregano. And that's me done.
More?
Right.
You want some ice with it? Some more?
Right, who can I
No?
help to this?
I'm very, very pleased to hear it.
Well, thank you for inviting us over.
Anytime.
I love that.